ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲನೆ
Sorry, I'm still at the edge of my seat because it was a last ball finish. Just give me a second, I'll just move back deep into this couch, take a deep breath. We all must take deep breaths. Just center ourselves. This is way too much excitement for way too late at night for all of us. Can't take this anymore. It doesn't even matter actually which team won or which team lost for all of us. I know that Chennai fans will be very upset because it was so close. It was so close. They could see it, they could smell it, they could taste it, but they just couldn't digest it. Yep, it did not happen for them. And Bangalore holding their nerve right at the end. And with that, they have gone to the top of the table. Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, equally excitable Adam Gilchrist and Shaun Pollock, but not as excited as that stadium next to Cubbon Park is in Bengaluru, because I think I can hear the noise from there through the window here in Mumbai. Can't you, Polly?
You probably could. I mean, gee whiz, it was, could have been won, could have been lost, could have been won, could have been lost, just kept going. I think when you go into the RCB dressing room, when they eventually stop giving high fives and celebrating, there'll be a couple of guys who go sit down and go, thank goodness, because otherwise it would have been me who'd cost us that game. There was drop catches, there was no ball, waist high full tosses, there was more drop catches, misfields, there was everything on the go. And they basically tried everything they could. CSK will be immensely disappointed though.
Yeah.
I mean, at one stage they were dawdling it. And you have the experience of someone like a Jadeja batting the whole way through and not being able to get that team over the line. They'll be pretty cut up about it, but I suppose that sums up their season.
Yeah. Your thoughts, sir, at the end of that game?
Yes, a huge sigh of relief for the RCB team. I mean, they got saved with the last 2 overs batting.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but for one delivery, that was a nice over at the finish there.
Yeah.
By Dale, but yeah, you could see the relief on his face.
Yeah.
he did a victory lap around, but yeah, it was a really entertaining game. Really fun to watch. We didn't quite know exactly which way it was going to go, right down to the very last ball. So it was a bit like that with our predictions about trying to get the first total. Then even within that batting power play, they were the first two overs for CSK.
I think
looked like they were going to barely get to 30 in the power play, and then the young fella just pulls the trigger, and so really entertaining game. I think, like what Polly says, it sums up CSK's season really, that they just haven't been able to just get the right people firing at the right time to get over the line. So, but they can be well pleased with the effort they put in there.
I think we needed one of those kind of games too, didn't we? It's been a while since we've had a real nail biter, something nice and
Last ball thriller.
I think Dale too, when he looks back at that over, when you have a look at his deliveries, not including the one that was the waist half full toss, there were a couple that were in the slot. Let's be honest, they weren't genuine Yorkers. Yeah. The other thing he'd be very grateful for is in those situations, I know the worst thing as a bowler is when you've got someone who paddles.
Yeah.
And Dhoni doesn't paddle, Jadeja doesn't paddle, and Dubé doesn't paddle. So he knew that he was just going to back, I'm trying to get that Yorker in, and if I can half get it underneath their bat, they won't be able to clear the boundary. And he got away with it because I just felt Jadeja, with the amount of runs he'd got and the fact that he was still at the crease at that time, you kind of just felt that he should have been able to put some of those deliveries, because they were like half volleys. And normally when a guy's got 70 odd, he's seen it like a balloon. So, yeah, they definitely got out of jail there.
There was, I got to say, like, this match was such a roller coaster. I feel like I have vertigo, right? It was just, the match has just gone up and down, and you're so right, getting a last ball thriller. This is what great matches are about. Like, if you don't know the result till the very last possible delivery, and all results are on. I think the super over was gone because they needed 3 for a super over. And I think the last time 3 was run in Chinnaswamy was perhaps in a school cricket under 10 match or something. Right? Otherwise, You really didn't Virat run a 4 the other day? Well, that was not. I don't think that was a Chinnaswamy. But you're not running 3s there. But every result was on the table there till the end. And you're so right about Yash Dayal and about maybe Jaddu just missing a trick or two in that last over.
Yeah, he went a little bit leg side. There was a couple that could have gone back over mid-off, perhaps. And even MS, maybe a sign of where he's at, just to miss that one, which effectively it was almost a full toss, really, wasn't it? But in fact, did it hit him on the full? It probably did in the end, didn't it? Yeah, he never used to miss those. Yeah, to pick them up.
That would normally be the helicopter shot.
Yeah,
over the wicket, right?
So again, symbolic of where this team's at and where certain players are at and what they've got to do to rebuild it. But a very entertaining game, and I think RCB, no doubt they'll breathe that heavy sigh of relief, but they also might think, well, we got out of jail a bit with the bat as well, so we were fortunate to be in any competitive position. Good hit out for them, considering that they're certainties to be in the finals, you would think. I mean, I know they haven't officially qualified just yet, but that's a good hit out for them, a good working over, a number of really positive points and a few things to work on, which is what you want.
I think also what happens with the management is they'll probably go down the route of saying, guys, I think it's our season. If we got to jail twice there today, I think things might just be running for us this year. And it's the kind of stuff you start to believe as a team. If you're sneaky and get over the line in these tight ones. So you never know. It might be just good signs for them.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Pollock? Is this destiny? Is it
that's what I'm saying.
In the stars?
That's what they're going to try and create. And why not? You know, try and use everything you possibly can to your advantage. So you try and create this vibe like, guys, you know what? I think this is destiny this season. I think we meant to. Virat's got 18 on his back.
18.
We're winning these squeaky moments, and they'll try and create something out of it.
Yeah, it's we said this in the curtain raiser before the tournament even began, that 18-18, and that's why I had RCB in my top 4. I only gave one explanation. I was like 18-18. Sometimes some things cannot be really explained by logic. Some things are just written in the stars. But today they have, because I'll tell you something, right? They squandered a lot of opportunities in the field today when Chennai was batting.
Yeah, they seem to be looking up very quickly up at the lighting, maybe behind. I mean, it's a pretty good excuse. But I mean, Virat's one, he actually completely missed it. It went right through his hand, him in the hip or stomach. But so, you need to tighten that up. But there's been a lot of catches go down in this tournament. Hasn't there? It's been a bit sloppy and not as high a standard.
You think after all the years, this catching standard should actually be going through the roof. I mean, you think of how many each team's got a fielding coach and the amount of years that the young guys are better prepped when they're younger in the age groups levels to be a brilliant fielders. It's been amazing how many catches have gone down.
But do you think that I'm not sure the amount of training sessions are happening that probably from previous eras.
It's the heat and humidity, I'm telling you. It plays a part. It's you know what the weather is outside, right? You leave, you pretty much start sweating in the shower, not after it. Right? And you feel like you're going to go in a bucket, like that sort of puddle of sweat you are. Could be. You guys know, you've played in extreme conditions before. Does that ever affect anything? Because ultimately, it's such small margins. It's a millisecond late reaction. It's a slightly slippery hand. It's just, the heat where you did one less practice session with catching. I'm just asking, could any of these be a factor?
Oh, most definitely. Heat and humidity and a bit of fatigue or tiredness can creep in. They're pretty extreme conditions. I mean, I think what Ahmedabad yesterday was 46 degrees.
Yesterday was 46. 46 feels like 96.
Yeah, so, I mean, the conditions have always been factored into cricket. That's why it's an interesting game in the fact that a baked pitch, sun-baked pitch can change and crumble and so on. Not so much in T20 cricket, but as a general rule, nature has always played a wonderful part in cricket, and that's part and parcel of preparing, making sure your diet's right, your liquid intake's right, and making sure your training's right. And I just wonder whether in this modern era, where the modern way is to prepare more as individuals than as teams. So guys have their own batting style in the nets. They might not do face bowls in the nets. They might just only get the coach with the wanger or the throwdowns or whatever. It's very much an individual preparation compared to other eras where you would have nets and then you'd all go and do your fielding drills as a team and big fielding drills, and then you'd go and do your high catches and your stuff. So I'm sure they are still training hard, but I just wonder if the quality of those practices and the volume of them might have dropped off a little bit. You're seeing magical things on the boundary road now.
I think they're only practicing tough catches.
Yeah, like they've got that perfected. There's no doubt about it. But it just seems some of the basic fundamentals are letting teams and players
they're
down.
probably practicing that hard stuff and not practicing the
basics.
Also, I suppose the weather, like at practice, you're thinking, well, save your energy. So maybe if anything's been sacrificed, it's been the fielding session.
Probably the catching. But there was one thing, I mean, you have to say that 17-year-old Ayush Mahatre, the innings he's played today, and you were talking about how it was really slow in those first 2 overs, and then suddenly they have a Bhuvi over that goes for 26, but the 2 balls before that went for 10 from Sheikh Rashid. So they had a 8-ball spell that went for 36 runs, which kind of kick-started them into this game. But just that over by Ayush Mahatre, and we'll talk about that because he was so fantastic. Almost got 100. He's our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas, Kamzada. Look at him. He's 17 years old. He smiles awkwardly like most teenagers do. Like both of you have had kids who are teenagers. That's how awkward teenagers smile, right? When they don't want their photo clicked. But today, there was just something just special and magical about his innings, just confidence that belies his age.
He is a very special talent, that young kid. I'm actually, I don't want to compare him or Suryavanshi against each other, but what I saw today from him, I thought that was a touch of class, because he goes leg side, but he could really equally go well through and over the offside. And there was a number of times where he sort of loaded up, like they're going to load up every ball anyway, but when it wasn't quite there, he adjusted and even just dropped down and just defended a couple.
He ran that one past third man beautifully.
Absolutely.
That was the 6th ball, I think, of Bhuvi's over.
Yeah. So I thought he looks to me like he's got a really compact game plan, and he knows that he can access the ball in different areas, not just with a power game over mid-wicket. But I think India's got yet another very, very fine young talent there that can nurture into something really special.
I'll tell you, Shaun Pollock is not impressed though. Because when I told Shaun Pollock that this kid is 17, Polly said, what's he been doing the last 3 years?
Where's he been?
The last 3 years.
Wasted 3 years of his life.
Yeah,
So I said, he's a late bloomer. You know, compared to Webber, he's a bit of a late bloomer. But jokes aside, it's just impressive temperament today. I know he tried to hit that he had to hit that 6 to get to 100, and I was sitting with Virendra Sehwag in the other studio, and I just looked at him and said, I wonder where he got that. Right? I said, choose your heroes, kid. What are you doing? Hero had a good laugh on that. But otherwise, the entire innings, you could tell he was just a little gassed towards the end, a little exhausted.
Yeah, he looked like he was a little bit rushed at the start with a new ball and maybe this technique of maybe taking it back a little bit late. But once he got himself in, it was pleasing on the arm. It was really good. I mean, that over, that kind of set up their game, in that power play, because they looked like they were behind. The pressure was starting to build. I think they were like almost 13 off 2.5 overs, and then they started to cut loose, and he was the key to that. So, I think he's really good. I think he enjoyed the pace of the ball coming on a little bit more than what he's had on the surfaces in the Chennai pitches. But it looks like a real good find.
Yeah, 2.4, I think, because they were 13, and then those last 2 balls went for a 6 and a 4, and then came Bhuvi's over, which was the 4th, which went for 26 runs. Bhuvi's no spring chicken. He's been around for a while, and to treat him with that level of disdain almost.
Yeah, but Bhuvi just kept stepping into his office, didn't he? And getting slammed straight back out of it. He kept pitching up. Maybe he was looking for it to swing, see if it could just shape a little bit, but he kept going full. And, the young fellow was watching closely enough and punished him. Because he got Boovy again later on in over cover for 6 too.
Yeah.
When he, later on in another spell.
He was quite impressive when he played in Mumbai as well, and he's 17, so he looks like he could play for this Chennai team for another 24, 25 years. That could be a possibility. But today, well, he will be despondent. He will be sad that he could not take his team across the line, but he shouldn't be sad about his batting effort. It was absolutely brilliant, and that's why Ayush Mahatre is our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Shor kam zyada, he scored 94 with 9 fours and 5 sixes at a strike rate of almost 196. All right, well, if I was to count the ups and downs of the game, now there's plenty, right? You could probably pinpoint 3 or 4 places where you felt, oh, this match is kind of gone. Like the first power play, you felt, oh, this is Bangalore's game, 71 in the power play. Then there's that 4-over spell where Chennai comes back into the game. I think it was overs 13-17, where there's only 19 runs given. Then there's the last 2 overs where Romario Shepherd gets a 14-ball 50. Then there's this power play where it goes, I'm counting all of them. It goes Bangalore's way. Then Chennai hits those runs. Then it drops from there. Then it comes back to them. Then it drops. I mean, I lost count of how many turning points there were in this game.
Yeah, to and fro. I think also one of the big points was that dismissal of Brevis.
Shocker. That was a shocker. Sorry, but that was a shocker.
That wasn't great. I mean, obviously the timing of it too, when he wants to review. But it's something, even that last delivery to Dhoni when he was given out LBW, that ball ended up at the boundary.
Yeah.
And if that was shown to make contact outside the leg stump, they've missed out on that 4 because as soon as the finger goes up, it's dead. And that's what happened with Brevis is when he was given out, that's when the timer starts. He tried to run through for the single. Then the ball's hit the bails and he's turned around. And he's thinking the 20 seconds starts from there. But I mean, it was definitely
15.
going down the leg side. Yeah, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So, I think that was a big moment as well because he's been in a bit of touch. And the other guys who come to the crease besides Shuman Dube hitting that one out the ground, they kind of struggled to get themselves going.
I was a little surprised on that dismissal because even when it hit, it just looked like it was going down, not just missing the stumps, it was going like leg slip.
Brevis.
Yeah.
Definitely. It just looked, I thought it's tailed in. Might have, I can't remember if it said it hit him.
Umpire's call on contact.
On
but
contact.
So
just in line and then it kept going.
Even the impact, I think, was umpire's call. So even the impact was way out. It was obviously missing by quite a while. I don't know why they went for the run. I am surprised. I understand Brevis, you can get a little overawed. He's not played much. He's just come into the team last couple of games. You get overawed Bangalore. They're making a lot of noise. It's a bit of a rock concert there, as Harsha told us. But I was really surprised that Jaddu ran for the thing because he saw the...
Yeah, it's one of those times. LBWs are often where you can get run-outs because you get hit, as a batter gets hit, and then he's kind of conscious of where the ball's gone, but he's also looking to see what the umpire's doing, whether he's putting the finger up or not. And if the non-striker's unaware... But I think they mustn't have seen the finger. I mean, everyone should know that once the finger's up, the ball's dead.
It's dead, yes.
So it doesn't really matter. And then they should have been quickly got into the discussion. But Brevis, when he walked down, he said it to say heading down. I don't know if he got the support he was after from Jadeja.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was clearly sliding well down the leg side.
I have to tell you what Virender Sehwag's reaction to that was. He says, once that happens... He says, I don't look at the non-striker, I don't look at the runner, a fielder, I don't look at anyone. I review first and then I ask my partner.
Yeah.
I said, that's probably would have been a good idea for Brevis as well.
Yeah, very good.
Where again, does this come, this you can factor this into play as well, right? You're new in the team, you're a young player. You feel the match is coming down to a crunch part, you're not really sure you want to use up a review, right?
But if you know it's not, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're in that side and you definitely know that that's heading down the leg side.
Yeah.
You send it up. I mean, you wouldn't, no player in that side would begrudge you the right to do that.
Yeah. Mr. Cricket Committee, we can ask you about this whole thing about the ball going dead and not getting 4.
We've made suggestions because more importantly is the Dhoni one. And in that situation, he gets given out LBW. In the context of the game, 4 runs, if it was hit outside the line, would have been of paramount importance.
No, would have been the game.
Yeah,
would have been Chennai's
basically
game.
Summed it up. So we've asked the umpires if they could be comfortable delaying their decision until the ball's officially dead. So when it's dead, so obviously the fielder's got in his hand or it's gone away to the fence. Some of them say they wouldn't because then they say they start to second guess themselves and they like to make a decision straight up. But it's going to cost. We had one in the semi-final of our SA20 where Aidan Markham was given out LBW. Same thing, hit him on the toe with his foot outside leg stump, went past third man for 4 and was given out, reviewed, not out, but you've lost the 4 runs because the finger's gone up, the ball's dead. Luckily for him, he hit the next one out the ground and they won with a ball to spare, but it's going to cost someone a game and a match. And you think IPL finals or World Cup finals, I mean, can you imagine if South Africa got to the World Cup final and we needed to win off the last ball and we still didn't get over the line because of some umpire's call and the ball being dead and something. It would just be the perfect little movie, wouldn't it, to add to the fro.
I think that South Africa would just quit cricket. That's it. We're not, sell our bats, we're not playing anymore. It's a bit like me at paddle today. I was like, I sold my racket, I've retired from the game. It was such a bad one,
Tough one.
It happens sometimes. But there's a very interesting, I mean, we should compare this as well because, not that you can really compare it, because what Shepherd has done in those last 2 overs when he was batting, I mean, I think they had a 54-run partnership where Tim David got 1, I think, some such. But there you go. See, Bangalore got those last 2 overs. That's how they went. 6. This is all Tim David, right? So this is all Shepherd. So 6, 6, 4, 6, 6, 4. So that's 33 runs in that over, right? With that no ball. And then in the next one, Tim David, very smart, takes a single first ball. And then Romario Shepherd gets another 21 in that.
Yeah. But what you would say about that, I mean, keep that graphic up. If you had to be a Bangalore fan, you didn't know anything about Shepherd's form or anything from him this season, you would say we actually wouldn't want him to face those 12 deliveries. You would want Tim David to face the 12, and you would hope Tim David was going to do that. Whereas on the Chennai side, you've got Dhoni and Jadeja, who's on late 60s. I mean, they would have banked on it 10 out of 10, being able to get over the line.
For such a senior player, always being retained, number 1 retention, I think the disappointment
I'm just saying that's why. I mean, there's no scripts involved, and that's why we love sport, because you don't know how it's going to go in the end. But if you said to Chennai fans, you need 27 to win off the last 2 overs, was it even 27 off the last 2?
I think it was less, 25.
Yeah, it could have been less. And you've got Jadeja on strike 160 and Dhoni at the crease. You're thinking, bring it on.
Yeah.
And it even going into that last over, it kind of looked like it was, what did they need, 14 of the last?
Yeah.
Then there was a couple of...
6 off 3 balls with a free hit.
Yeah, 6 or 3 balls with a free hit. And that was a low full toss that didn't get away, only got a single, and the next one was like a kind of half volley. So they'll be disappointed, but it does sum up their season. And maybe if you're going to have all the misery, you might as well have it in a season where you're going to end up as low as they are.
Yeah, that's right. Just bring on all the misery in this season so that you can clear the slate for the next one. Dhoni did have this to say about his bowlers bowling, especially in those last 2 overs. He says, I think we need to practice more Yorkers when the batters start to connect. You need to have variations, and bowling Yorkers would have been the right thing. Someone like Pathirana, he has the pace of bowling Yorkers, so he bowled a couple of bouncers too. I don't understand that last one.
He has the pace of bowling Yorkers.
Yeah, he has the pace to bowl Yorkers, I feel. But he can bowl bouncers as well. I could not understand what that was.
We'll just leave it. We'll just leave that.
We'll just leave that.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about. What could he have done better? Let me ask you.
Who?
The way they bowled to Shepherd in those last 2 overs?
Should have gone for heels.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. So even heels, the one thing about that bowlers need to understand is that if you miss a heel, invariably the batter gets something on it, probably goes for 4. It doesn't go out the ground, it doesn't go for a maximum.
Yeah.
And as you know, as the West Indies, he wasn't going to paddle you, so you could have people back and just try and angle it in, but they kept coming into the slot, and he's not going to miss out. And we know what the ball does there at Bangalore; it flies out the ground. So get it to tail in and try and hit heels. Not going to be able to get underneath it, and harder for him to hit.
Yeah, they were just intimidated by the end of it, weren't they? Once that first, the 19th over went, just panic had set in, and I think they had the presence of Shepherd and the power scrambled the bowlers' minds. I think that they just didn't seem to have a plan like that or try to do anything different. The one part of that comment from Dhoni that is accurate, that you've got to have variations on what's going the journey already. You've got to have something to go back on. And they just didn't seem to have that. The decision-making was not right.
I think a lot of the bowling actually today has been kind of wavered.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a lot of these bowlers have been guilty of doing that today. Even somebody as experienced as Bhuvi, right towards the end, there was that, I think, one that he bowled way outside to Dhoni, which was just meat and drink to him. Went for 6 over cover.
Yeah, I think, from a bowling unit, you've got to try and come up with your solutions when you analyse these things. There's two things. There's obviously the thought process on what the game plan was, and then the delivery of the skill. So that was why it's always interesting to get the bowler's feedback. Is like, what were you trying to do, that delivery? Because if you're trying to go for a Yorker, and it's a waist tower full toss, you've missed your Yorker yardage by probably 5 or 6 metres. Then it's a skill thing. Then we need to practice our Yorkers. That's what Dhoni's saying. You need to practice them more. I don't think you may be also trying to say that putter runner's got pace. So he's one of those guys who can go for Yorkers, because generally the quicker the pace, the more chance you've got a way of getting away with the Yorker if it misses. But it'd be interesting to know what their plans were. What were they trying to do? Because it's one thing having the variations, but if the variations are slow ball and it's a full toss, then you might as well not pull that variation. So you've got to be able to land your variations. And obviously what the plan is, you've got to be able to deliver your skill accordingly.
Yeah, it's been quite a game, You can find a lot of places in there where you can do kudos. You can find a lot of places where you can have brick bats. So I think both teams will. Well, Chennai season is over, but Bangalore will actually look at this game. And
Their fans have sent me a message on my phone to say, please, can you put the table up? They want to have a look.
Oh,
Their fans.
Yeah, let's do it. Who are we to say no? Bring it, because they are at the top of the pops. They are right at the top with 11 games. They're at 16 points, so now just 3 games left. Now, Shaun Pollock likes scenarios.com.
I'll give you one.
Yes.
No team has ever missed out on qualification with 16 points.
There you go.
There's the scenario.
But I was asking you another scenario.
Okay.
Which is that their captain said we're thinking of not just qualifying, but we're thinking of spot 1 and 2. This point in time, 11 games, 16 points, scenarios.com, 1 and 2. I think it's a lock.
Yeah,
I think it's locked in, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's say last 3 games. Isn't RR in there as well?
Yeah.
They might be playing RR. They've played them twice.
The 3 RCB games, we'll just pull them up for you in just a second. But when you look at the others in that table as well, right, Gilly? And just again, it's a bit of form, it's a bit of destiny written in the stars, it's a bit of just the momentum that you get going, the magical X factor that can never be quantified. Feels like there's a few things going there.
Yeah, they got a few very fine players in that cricket team as well. Interesting to see what Krunal Pandya, if there's any issue there.
Yeah.
He went off the field late.
Yeah. I think he just didn't want to bowl those 2
I was going to say,
overs.
maybe it was just to get out of when the captain looked around for a bowling option. Hopefully for his sake, he pulls up fine, and because he wasn't even called for with the bat, and yet he was a match winner with the bat last outing. So, it looks like they've got a good bit of buzz, good bit of spirit there.
If I was to probably raise one question mark with their batting, is that the middle order. They need more from 3, 4, 5. Padikkal, Patidar and Jitesh. There's talent there, but just for the 3 of them, what do you do? Maybe just break them up? Maybe just throw Shepherd maybe in before? Just mix it up a bit?
You've got, as I say, Krunal's not even on that list. He wasn't required. So I'd be tempted to have David and Shepherd and Krunal sliding up at least 1 position.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. You could, maybe present a case to have one of those 3 that I mentioned up higher in there. I know the theory around Tim David and I guess Shepherd's a similar one, where they think there's this feeling that they only need to face 10 balls, 15 balls to make an impact, and we saw that clearly today. But imagine if they faced 30 balls. They
Yeah.
Huge impact.
Anything.
So, that's a good point. It's just that little middle order there. But fortunately, Virat, orange cap wearer now, he's firing along, and Jacob Bethel looked good too today.
Let's have a look at what the Chennai batters did, because as we said, Ayush Mahatre got that 94, very well played. It was 94 of 48. Ravindra Jadeja, 77 not out of 45. It was a great innings. He will be very disappointed that he couldn't take his team across the line there. Sam Curran only got 5 of 5. Sheikh Rashid again just seemed a little... He's got the shots, right? Just seemed a little overawed of what you were saying, the first two balls. Maybe they were just trying to just hit the leather of the ball, both of them.
Was he the one who missed out when Gakwat was around?
He was
he wasn't playing.
He was not playing when Gaikwad was around.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And then there's also, you had Conway and you had Ravindra.
Rahul Tripathi. So they've had a bit of kind of revolving door at the top.
So, I mean, I think he struggled. He struggled to get his time in Chennai as well. I mean, ideally they'd wanted one of those guys at the top of the order, and then with the youngster who played so well today, it's a good combination. You look at that batting lineup, you feel differently about it, particularly if Gakwad's there. So they obviously missed him. But he'll learn from this experience and obviously try and come up with a different game plan. But he just hasn't had it together for me.
We look at the Bangalore bowling as well, and the one thing that will strike out from there, while the fielding was not disciplined, the bowling, Gilly, was so disciplined. No wides, just that one no ball. I mean, it came at a very bad time, right at the end from Yash Dayal, but just the one no ball. That's a very disciplined bowling performance.
Well, disciplined in that's a controllable almost.
The
really.
controllables, yes.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit ill-disciplined in that they went, like what we spoke about, Boovy.
Yes.
Going into the wrong length too often. I thought the spinner bowled well. He bowled particularly well.
Suyash.
In that.
In fact, I think that 18th over that he bowled may have just swung the game.
Absolutely. That was a gutsy call to go the spinner and went for 6 off the over. So that was...
that was huge.
Yeah.
And Lungi did well. He got 3 for. I mean, he would have been feeling the pressure of trying to step into Hazelwood's shoes. So that would be good for him.
Yeah, Lungi's had a good start as well. I just feel like what Bangalore is... I think they held their nerve as a bowling unit in the last couple of overs. You're so right. Suyash bowling the 18th is a very brave call, right? It's a brave call. He does really well. He goes for only 6 and over. And at that point in time, you can see...
I thought Jadeja was going to take him down once. At least once in the over. And they couldn't get him away. So that was a remarkable over.
And the interesting thing was they kept cutting to Shivam Dubey getting restless outside. Spinner, 18th over. I would have hit a few out of the stadium right now. But that's what happens, right? The guy you need on strike is sometimes on the non-striker's end. Sometimes he's in the dugout waiting to just... come in. So it depends on what happened. Like, for example, with Bangalore, when they got the wicket, when Jitesh and Patidar got out, that's when Tim David and Romario Shepherd came in. And look what has happened. They won the game by the barest of margins after getting 50 plus in the last 2 overs. So you just can't control. You can't control these things. You really can't. But I think Suyash was brilliant in that 18th over. And they really pulled it back because needing 43 in the last 4 with 7 wickets, I think, in hand. You're always backing. We were backing the batting team right till the end.
Yeah.
And also with the striking that was still to come. I mean, you think of those figures, that the players, the individuals that were to come, they've done really well.
Well, so the good news for Bangalore fans is that they are at the top of the table. And the bad news continues for Chennai fans, even though they'll be a little happier with the effort that their team has shown today. Just, not able to get over the line in the end, but they definitely played good cricket for a lot of part of that and showed a lot more fight than they have shown in previous games. So, there's something to take away from that. All right, let's look at the games that are happening tomorrow. It's a Sunday, which means double header, 2 for the price of 1, happy hours. Yes, I like, very nice. The first game, bring the graphic. Remind me. It's Rajasthan playing the Knight Riders in the Eden Gardens. Well,
only won the one game up there, haven't they, the home team?
Their feng shui is bad there as well. Yeah. By the way, Bangalore is 1 in 5 now. 2 in 5 now, sorry. Bangalore's 2 in 5. Yeah, good feng shui. Sorry, but again,
Yeah.
both these teams kind of low on confidence, you'd say? Underperformed this season?
Certainly RR.
Yeah.
And KKR,
Are holding on by a thread.
yeah, they're just, aren't they? But,
Yeah.
but you would think that they should be able to get themselves up, knowing they're playing a team that's already out. That should be the inspiration that they are there, 7th position. They can ill afford to let this one go.
Listen, they can still make a play for it because they'd be talking saying 8 points is 17. Luckily, they've got that 1 point from that rained out encounter. So anyway, net run rate doesn't come into play. So 3 wins gets you to 15. I don't think that'll be enough because we've already got teams which are there. So they'd be thinking 17.
Yeah,
and
but
one
they just
game
got to
at a time.
think win. So then they've done 11 games, they'll have 11 points. And they'll go 1 up on the table, and then take it from there. They can't be thinking too far ahead.
No.
They've just
One
got to be
game at a
focused
time,
on trying to produce. They didn't get a chance to bat in their last outing at Eden Gardens with the rain that came in there. So it's been a while since they've batted as a home team.
Yeah, wow.
So we'll have to see how they go and what surface we get. Maybe we'll ask Hasha, Dooley, see what they can come up with us for information on that surface.
I'll give you his address. If any letters have to be addressed to Shaun Pollock, I'll let you know. We won't be paying for the stamps. We just want to tell you that right now. Let's have a look at the teams and see if there's any changes that you predict that would happen. Bring him up now. Here's the thing. They are playing with their best team and they're playing with a very solid team.
They beat Delhi in the last outing, so a little bit of confidence from that. Still not enough from the batters, that's for me. It's been a bit hit and miss at the top of the order there with Nareen and Guezzing, and then Gilchrist has been pretty good, but everyone else in around the Venkatesh hasn't got enough.
Yeah, I think he's got 120 odd runs in this season.
And certainty that Ajinka is right. He went off injured, didn't he, in that game against Delhi?
I think he's fine. There's no news that is.
No news that he's out or anything.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raghavanshi looked good.
Yeah, you're right. Sunil Narayan was captaining for a while.
Yeah, he had to make that decision. He bowled Russell against DC, didn't he? Right at the end. But, yeah. No, that's...
No changes. It looks pretty set and
Yeah, I think they might discuss some of the faster bowlers. I think Chakravarti and Nareen have done a good job in the middle, but if there's been issues, it's been up front with the faster bowlers. So they might they could look at maybe an international bowler up the front there. What they've got, Nortje and Spencer Johnson.
Just the two.
That might be a better option for them. Have to just wait and see.
Okay, for Rajasthan, there's the one big news, which is Sandeep Sharma is injured. So we'll look at who would enter in his place. So
They didn't play the last game, yeah.
Yeah, but
They brought in Fazal Haq for rookie, I think.
he is...
Akash Madhwal.
Sanju Samson is also... I don't think he's available still. So Riyan Parag will captain. They are out. But Tushar Deshpande can come in his place because Tushar Deshpande has not played. I like Akash Madhwal. He's played for Mumbai before. He was impressive when he played there. So Akash Madhwal stays. Kumar Karthik. So Tushar Deshpande is the only choice there. Or maybe Yudhvir Singh Charak. He played the one game. He was expensive.
Maybe also Hazaranga. I mean, it's got a history there of being a surface that assists the spinners. So if they arrive there and the pitches...
So then they play him instead of Faruqi because...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do like Faruqi, to be honest. I like that option with a bit of support for Jofra because he hasn't had much with the faster bowlers. And he does get the ball to shape around and he's got some good skills. He just got beaten a bit at the back end there by Mumbai in his second spell.
He could have... He was that far from having Rowett in his first over.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I thought he changed his pace really nicely early on. But
He's good, I like him.
Yeah, he was up against some tough customers in Hardik and Sky.
Yeah.
They closed that innings out beautifully and he was on the receiving end. But I agree. I think Faruqi's a skillful thinking bowler. I think
These two teams actually gave us a classic game at Eden Gardens last year. We remember Jos Butler got that 100 and it was a big scoring game and Rajasthan won that. But at this point in time, I think it's just favouring Knight Riders right now. I think the odds are stacked against Rajasthan with Sanju Samson missing, Sandeep Sharma missing, just them having been eliminated. You never know. It's a strange game. Player to watch out for from each player?
Suryavanshi. 100, 0. What next?
In Hindi, I've got a saying for this called Kabhi Shatak, Kabhi Batak. Because Shatak means 100 and Batak means duck. And they both happen to be rhyming. So Kabhi Shatak, Kabhi Batak. That's what's happened to him. He's got 100, then he's got a duck. Maybe 100 tomorrow. Okay. So do you want to pick Suryavanshi and Raghuvanshi as in two? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the Vanshis and see how they get on.
Yeah, the Vanshi. It's Vanshi day tomorrow. All right. So your player from Rajasthan?
Rian Parag.
Rian Parag.
He's going to convert. He's had these little teasing starts. He might just convert.
I just hope he stays patient. I mean, sometimes you just feel like your captain just good. You did. You've done 22 of 8. You've done 20 of 7. It's all right now.
Yeah.
Just stick around. It's a bit to be learned from some of the senior players that are around, I guess, and would like to see him. From the Knight Riders, who would you pick?
Chakravarti, I'll go with.
Nareen, for me.
Right. Okay.
I think they're going to stick with him at the top. So can he get them off to a quality start?
All right. We will now look at the next game that's happening tomorrow because Sunday, as I said, there's 2 games happening. So this game is Punjab playing Lucknow up in the hills.
In the hills.
In Dharamshala, a place that both of you really like.
Oh, yeah.
You played a bit up there for it, did you?
Absolutely.
That's where he got his
scoring ground.
That's where he bowled his ball and took his wicket.
Absolutely. Yep. That's
That's where it was.
very special in my heart, that ground.
It's not too many people that can say that. That's where he bowled his ball. The one ball that he has ever bowled in the IPL.
And the Lucknow guys have been up there for best part of a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just
chilling.
been up there chilling out
Yeah.
on good authority. They've been relaxing and taking it easy. So, it'll be interesting to see how they stack up. Punjab got their mojo back last game, didn't they?
We've almost forgotten about Lucknow, haven't we? I mean, they haven't played for so long. It's kind of
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Let's see where they go if they win. They need to win this game as well. They'll get to 12 points if they win. I don't know.
Their net
they
run
won't go
rates.
up beyond Delhi because the net run rate is a big differential there between them. But Punjab would really want to win tomorrow's game and stake a claim at that top 2 for qualifying.
Yeah.
Right? They really want to do that. And they want to take advantage of the fact that Delhi has just tapered off in the last few games.
Yep.
And tomorrow's a good chance for them to put some distance.
Yeah. Shreyas Iyer back in touch. Really nice innings against CSK. He got out just before the finish, didn't he? But he looked really good. He looks really determined. And so, I think they're a pretty well-balanced squad. Not sure whether there'll be any changes to that starting 11, how it all finished up. Of course, the 2 at the top have been fantastic opening up. I reckon Inglis could possibly get up the list. Maybe Shedgay might make way.
Who does he
could
make
he-
way for, though?
Yeah.
Interesting. If they make it, they'll probably make that one change. But that's what happens when teams are doing well. When teams are doing well, you end up carrying a couple of people anyway, right? And you don't mind that because you're getting stuff.
I think they could almost go the option of trusting their 5 bowlers. I suppose it's difficult there at Dharamshala because one can disappear. But they've got to get more from the batting. So England needs to try and come good for them. They've had 2 up front. Shreyas has now shown, but that's the top 3. After that, there hasn't been much form to talk of. So ideally, someone in that middle overs needs to make a play and say, hey, back me for the rest of the tournament.
If we look at the Lucknow team, and obviously Lucknow again was a dangerous 1-2-3 when they started, a bit like Gujarat. They had 1-2-3 who were getting the runs for them, Mitchell Marsh, Nicholas Puran, and Aiden Markram. But that's tapered off a bit as well. So they'd want those 3 to come back into form, get some runs.
Definitely. I'll be looking for that. Nicky Puran's been very good.
Rishad's been struggling, hasn't he?
But Rishabh again, Rishabh's also, I don't think he's crossed 100, or is he just barely crossed 100 aggregate in this tournament?
Needs runs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's such a special talent. in fact, I think I'm going to go the early crow with my player to watch out for. It is Rishabh Pant.
Excellent. He's got 110 runs so far in the tournament.
Come good.
I've been just disappointed with that bowling unit. If we can maybe bring it up again, just those 5 seamers. Ravi Bishnor was okay. Avesh Khan, he's been okay. Prince, he kind of looked short of a ghost. Digvesh, Mayank was good to see him actually back in the last game because he's been out injured. But yeah, if they're going to go on in this tournament, those 5 have to start producing a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think the batting, I'm not too worried about. I think Rashad will probably kick on at some stage, and the others have been in good touch. But I think more and more you go down, you have a look at the bowlers. The bowlers have to find some form.
Yeah. Player to watch out for you?
I'm going to go David Miller. He's been very quiet, David Miller, but he's also played his fair share of games in Dharamshala when he was at the Kings. So I'm looking for him.
Excellent. With the other team?
The other team, Josh Inglis. I think he's going to produce something for us tomorrow. He's due.
And
Yuzi Chahal. I want to see him doing that. That little one again after fresh off his hat trick.
what is that? What do we call it? Do we call it the little Cleopatra? What do we call it?
What it was pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's a little royal. It's quite regal.
It's elegant.
Yeah, it's elegant. He hasn't been called that in a lot of things before, well done with that. All right, so those are the 2 games that are coming up tomorrow. Important, exciting. We want that joy factor question and answer. We'll just take those on and wrap it up before we scoot on out of here. We got a Saturday night to live up, man. Was you kidding? We got to sleep. Jaiswal, Sarfaraz, Shubman, Pujara, Virat. Last 5 Indian batters to achieve what contradictory stat? Put us out of our misery and show us the answer already. Just show it to us. We need it. Shatak and Batak! Come on! We just spoke about that.
Huh?
Wow. Duck and a century in the same game.
Contradictory. Yeah.
Very rare that it comes up twice in 5 minutes of the show. It's pretty cool. We didn't know that. We honestly didn't. We never know it. We didn't know it. Nobody shares.
Joy's answers.
Yeah, Joy is like a bit like the Oscars. He doesn't share the answer or the winner till it comes out. All right, well done. Who got the right one first? Give us. Who was it? Biplab Das Chaudhary. Congratulations to you, man. Congratulations, Biplab.
We've got to have a look at Gilly at top of the pops. He's gone up in his points.
Come on, Gilly.
You're 37% before this, and you got a 50-50 today. So
You've done really well.
yeah.
Well done.
Look at you, 40%.
The 40s.
My goodness. Wow.
It was a pretty good day all round for us today.
Pretty all round.
Downstairs as well.
Yeah. I got a bullseye today, which was great. I missed the other bullseye by 1 run. But I'm happy with the 1. That's good. I'm so happy I didn't get the second bullseye as well. Because I genuinely think, like, I know myself, I think the power would have gone to my head.
Yeah.
I think I would have just, like, maybe overthrown the management here or something, just staged a coup. I would have done something. Something crazy would have happened. So I'm very happy that I missed it. But congratulations, Mr. Gilchrist, at the top.
Keep going, buddy. Keep
At
going.
the top.
It could be big moving day tomorrow.
It's very usual.
4 cracks at it, don't we?
Yeah.
It's very usual to see you at the top of the order.
Yeah, that's right. I'm batting at 3.
That's dangerous.
Wait, you're opening with Murli Karthik.
He's opening the batting and he's averaging 40. It's decent.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's in T20 cricket. That's pretty good. You'll take it.
Yeah.
And your strike rate's pretty good as well because you seem to be getting them right more than wrong. All right, well, that's been a good day. It's been a good day. It's been a good game. Fantastic game. Went down to the last ball. We're going to see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here because there's 2 games tomorrow. So join us then. You both will be here with us tomorrow. Both of us. I'll be here as well. So, well, then there's no need for long, drawn goodbyes then. No need for the tears.
Check it.
No need. We're just going to leave. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. Have a good Saturday night, all of you. Bye-bye.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲನೆ
Hi, Japan Express. स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दें